Alright, what is up YouTube, what is up Tumblr and internets and all the other things of whatever it kind of likes. I'm back from the dead. I'm not really dead, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about a bunch of stuff today. Some of it might be over the stuff that I've written about on my blog, so if you guys haven't checked that out, feel free to do so. Or not, because I'm gonna talk about it here. So, there's quite a bit I want to discuss today. There is the state of the game, personal updates on what's going to happen in regards to working with the game, the future of it, where I plan on going. We're going to talk about things like the pre-alpha, the alpha, pretty much a roadmap, things like that. And I'll show you guys pretty much what I have planned out. Now, this is kind of like an just off the cuff video. I don't really have much planned in terms of I don't have a script. I don't have anything really. I'm just going to go. I didn't even have time to hook up my Microsoft Surface, so I had a bunch of notes, but we're just gonna roll without it today. So, first thing I wanted to show you guys was the status of the game. Now, personally, I don't feel like I got very far on it compared to the last update video, and there's a lot to talk about that. So, I just finished messing with one of the settings right now in my code, so I'm gonna go in blind. I'm expecting some bugs anyway, but I'll just show you guys what I have done thus far. And as far as the actual development of the game goes and how I actually do my coding, I'll be honest, a lot of it is kind of off the cuff. I don't really have any formal training or anything, so I spend most of my time just kind of coding what I think might work, and if it works, then, cool. If it doesn't, then cool. So, actually, I don't think I've shown you guys this. I'm gonna go ahead and use this little independent one. I think this is the server right here on the right side is what I started. I could be wrong. I'm used to using the standalone as a server and the editor as a client, just because it works a little better in terms of functionality. So as you guys can see here, yeah, everything moves, character shows up, blah. This is actually the game view down here, so it looks like really tiny, and this is the inspector view where I can see things as they go. But what all did I finish? I guess you guys haven't seen the top bar. So the top bar is finished. You guys saw the turn load up and everyone has health now, and there is this bottom CD drive, or I think I called it the... What did I call it, actually? Is that important? That's not important. We're gonna look it up anyway. I called it the disk drive. So, this is the disk drive, and attacks and everything still function quite properly. And, okay, well, maybe not fully properly. Oh, what? Is that a bug? That's totally a bug. What the heck? Okay, well, that's super delayed. What's going on over here? So, yeah, this is what happens during my game development. It's usually me doing stuff and going, that's perfectly fine. What the hell? Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm just gonna shoot my dude. Bing. Okay, so that looks a little better. I don't know what happened. I'll have to check that out. This is what happens during every single build. Every time I edit on something, something usually goes wrong, and I'm like, whoa, shit. Also, there's gonna be some cursing, I'm sorry. But, I'll explain what I plan to do with the bugs and everything as I talk about pre-alpha and stuff. So yeah, as you guys can see here, this is all done. The bar is built, and this command prompt is getting there as well. There was another thing I felt like discussing on here as far as that goes, but whatever. So the other thing is, oh yeah, the focus. So if another person presses F, or it's not going to be F, it's going to be an actual card, you can actually focus the other player. And that's a mechanic I didn't really talk about. I actually just kind of wrote about it. So let's go ahead and talk about that before I get to this bar. So in games like Mega Man Battle Network, you had dimming chips, or chips that froze the game for a momentary action, so you could do something. So there was area grab, which you guys know of as this, and you can steal this. I still don't have an animation for this, but the idea is, in Mega Man Battle Network, stuff like that would actually freeze the game, so you're pretty much guaranteed to do something. And there were crazy counter mechanics and stuff. But I read this really good discussion on Reddit about how that could potentially slow the game down. And I thought that's a really interesting point that I never considered. So I made my own mechanic called Focus, which is going to be a card, which I don't know if I'm going to let you guys play 4 or 5 copies. I don't really know, maybe less. That's not important right now. But the mechanic is, instead of having dimming inside of my game, I'm actually going to have a thing where you can slow your opponent down by 66% for 3 seconds. That might be too much, I don't know yet. There's a lot of testing that still needs to go through all this, but the idea is that you can freeze your opponent so you can land bigger hits. It makes it so stronger attacks that are slower will be more viable, and or you could use things that will basically guarantee you a hit. So you could use things like a stun attack, or you could use something that will gain you more area, or basically slow your opponent's movement down. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we're gonna go over here and focus this player, and movement is slower. It's not that bad, but movement is in fact slower. Now the thing is, when you start doing other stuff like sword slashes, your animation will be slower, and in my game, attacks are linked with your animations. So on frame X, your hitbox will come out. The hitbox itself will still move at full speed, but the rate at which the hitbox comes out will be slower, so like it'll take you a while to get that actual hitbox out. So that's a normal sword swing. If you focus, whoops, that's not the right button. If you focus the other player, you can see the sword swing is significantly slower, and yeah, movement is also slowed as well. It basically lets you lock in your hits. Now, there's a point in time where you actually can't move while attacking. So, like while I'm doing that, an animation has to finish. And that, oh shit, what did I just do? That actually reigns true for the most part. Am I stuck now? Dude, I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. That was weird. So I need to figure that out. Yeah, there's a lot of random bugs that I'm still trying to get fixed. Basically what happens is I put checkpoints throughout my project, and once I hit a certain checkpoint, I have to clear out every single bug. So I'm obviously not at my checkpoint yet. My next checkpoint is actually going to be when all the UI is finished. So I'm about halfway there, if that, and then after that I go back and redo all my bug fixes. But, yeah, let's go back to the focus mechanic. Like I said, this is all like off the cuff. So like here, I can't move until that's done. So theoretically, if you focus somebody like mid-attack, you could just like, you're almost guaranteed a hit, because I can't move or anything. So that's the focus mechanic. Next thing we're going to talk about is the disk drive, and this is basically the turn menu. As you can see, there is no animation, it just pops up. That's another thing that I'm probably going to work out as I get near pre-alpha, but we're going to talk about pre-alpha next, okay? Okay. So, here's the disk drive itself. You can actually use arrow keys to navigate everything. I actually kind of went away with the buttons that I had. Like, this was going to be a play button, this was going to be a shuffle button, so on and so forth. And like this would be eject, and this would be, did I say this is going to be skip? That's going to be play. Anyways, I took that system out now, and I did a command prompt looking style, so I'm a big fan of this. It just looks kind of cool. These are, you know, locked, blah. They actually don't work yet. Like, this works because there's nothing attached to them yet, but they're placeholders for the cards. The fuel gauge actually works, but there's nothing attached to them. Like, there's no script or code or anything, it's just kind of there. But the fuel gauge does work so that every time you pick a card, you can actually lower the amount. I just haven't connected it yet. That's actually going to be the next thing I do. I have a big checklist of stuff that I'll do, which I'll discuss in a bit. There's a lot of discussion, okay? Okay. I'm just going to shut up. I'm rambling, guys. I'm rambling. But, if we go to the turn bar over here, in the turn bar, the fuel gauge, you can actually, like, you know, change the value yourself. But that's not working right now because obvious reasons. And obviously here, this is where the bug is going to happen. I know this for a fact. So over here, it'll say ready on one client, and that's it. So I need to fix that on both. I think this is the server, so this isn't running on the client. Actually, I think I know how to fix that. I'll probably just comment that out. That's what I was doing earlier. I was like, you know, maybe this will work, maybe not. This is my freestyle coding, guys. I just kind of do stuff until it works. So, anyways, going back to the main discussion of the game, and I guess I'll just leave these dudes here. I don't really know. Okay, so there's a lot to discuss in regards to. Whoa! Okay, I crashed something. Okay. And this is why we do this live. I wasn't expecting that. This is actually my second bug crash ever in the history of my game. So, okay. I have no idea what happened there. Interesting. Okay, so what I did was a bad thing. Let's not do that again. So anyways, going on to, I guess, the rest of the UI, because there's still a lot to be finished. Basically what I need to do right now is, it's better off showing you guys because I can't really do it otherwise. But I need to finish the actual gameplay UI, so that means I need to have the turns up. If you guys noticed, maybe you guys didn't, on the top it says turn, but it doesn't say what turn number. So basically I need to start incrementing the turns, which is really no big deal, to be honest. But I need to start incrementing turns. I need to start adding the other commands. So the collect, the manage, and the discard drives all need to work. Did I say drives? Buttons. Those buttons need to work. And now the kicker is collect can work, because collect basically lets you spend X amount of fuel and you'll unlock one of these other one. So like you'll get to your 6th, and then next turn you can spend X amount and then unlock another one, unlock another, so on and so forth. So that can be done. Manage, I can't really do until the card system is built. Same with this card. These two are gonna have to wait until I finish the card system, and this one works pretty well. So that's pretty much all I need to do with this, and then the system itself is pretty much done with this UI. I'll also need to put a field number here. This should be 15, and it should, decrease or increase depending on whatever. You guys are smart people, you understand. So after this, what do I do from here? There's a couple of other small things I need to work on. As you can see, I'm working on the ready kind of animation, which just it says ready and it goes away and the game starts. Characters can't move and blah. I need to fine-tune that because I'm having a couple of bugs with it. I'm going to fine-tune that, and then I'm going to do a round, a round win/lose screen. I'm going to have like a battle start screen, and after that, the basic battle is done. I have to make a lobby, so like, when you guys log in, you guys will go to a lobby, and there'll be more discussion about lobbies in a bit, but I need to make a lobby scene. I need to make an option where you can have your name. Basically, whenever you start, and it had that start game, or start server, what was it, start host or whatever, or find game, whatever the option I had with like local host and shit. There should be an option here where it'll display your names on the left and right side under your players, so you can figure out who is who. I want to have a fancy animation that just goes like whatever player name 1 versus player 2, and have like this weird clash thing from like, I don't know, whatever. But I want to make the animations fancier in the future, but I can't do that quite yet because I don't want to waste too much time. So that's that. I also still need to build a deck editor / deck builder, and that will come next. So, and then like a main menu scene. So the order of importance goes battle, I guess battle UI, and then battle turns. After that goes the lobby. After that goes the main menu. And then after that goes the deck editor. So the main menu I didn't really touch on that. It's just going to be like we would expect in a normal game. So you would have like the splash art, you would have the press start to continue thing, you would have different options that you could pick on, go to wherever, find a game, practice mode, etc. It's pretty straightforward. A couple of things to address. The card system itself looks pretty simple, but every time I say it looks simple, I'll usually run into something major. But I think I can get that one done reasonably quickly. From the looks of it, it's probably going to take me about 2 weeks. And that's assuming I'm going to screw up. Originally I wanted to say a week, but it's going to be about 2 weeks. After that, I start populating the game with cards, and then I insert, I insert the cards in the game, and then I do a little bit of polish. On top of that, I need to start I need to resume my forum. I'm actually making a forum right now. It changes so often because I've written everything I want on a piece of paper, and as my game changes, what I want for my forum changes, so I just kind of put it aside. But the forum is probably going to launch with the pre-alpha of the game. The pre-alpha of the game is going to be around September. I'm looking toward the end of September, and what the pre-alpha will consist of is basically a functioning model of the game at a very, very rough stage. I plan on advertising it on Reddit, on pretty much the Mega Man, the Rockman EXE zone, probably on Twitch, and then just like my private friends and stuff. I don't really want a huge audience, I want a decent one, but the purpose of the pre-alpha is to make everything as stable as I possibly can in preparation for alpha. So in alpha, I think I'm going to end up charging, I don't really know a business model yet. I think I'm just going to go $5 in alpha, $10 in beta, and $15 for the final game. I don't see myself adding a free-to-play game that'll make you buy stuff like Hearthstone or anything. So that's the plan for that. However, I have a very, very strong feeling about buying a game. When it comes to me and money, I don't like wasting money on a game that I wouldn't enjoy. I associate, dollars paid with value of the game, how much you're going to enjoy it, how much content is there, etc. Now, this is a very early game, and I don't feel comfortable selling it, so I don't want to feel as though I'm pushing this as a marketing ploy or anything like that. The idea behind pre-alpha is to make the game as polished as I can make it until I feel comfortable saying I would pay $5 personally for this game. and that could take ages, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody who makes an account off of my forum, once that comes and once that launches, will get the game for free, period. You don't need to pay anything. You don't, like, when there's an update, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to worry about it. When alpha comes out, you're not paying a cent. You're good. This whole project for me is more so about the experience of making a game from the ground up and pursuing this kind of lifestyle. I don't really care about the money as it stands right now. Honestly, I'll be frank with you guys, I don't need the money at all. But, like, the extra money, I'll be honest, is going to go to marketing. Not marketing. Well, yeah, marketing. And licensing. So both of those. Basically, the money is going to be used to put in the game so I can pay for my licenses and then market the game so I can get more players. And that's it. Additional money will be used on research and paying my friends off because my good homie Micah is also my sound producer, and there'll be more on that later, but Micah is going to get paid, as well as my other buddy Nicole, who is my logo designer, which hasn't been done yet, but more on that later. Also, another good chunk of that, if there is extra money, bear in mind I still need $1,500 when this game comes out, so if I don't reach that, then there won't be extra money. But if there is, I'm going to look into matchmaking servers, I'm going to look into other stuff as well. I had this idea about server browsing, so maybe somebody, if they can't find an opponent, they would open a server, and somebody with a server browser just pops in. That seems to be the most efficient way. Don't expect that in pre-alpha. In pre-alpha, I'm still probably just going to end up using the type in your opponent's server. I'm probably going to have a live chat on my forum, so you guys can just look for each other. But in the future, I'm hoping maybe towards beta if things are really, really optimistic, but the reality of it might be just with my own spare money after the game is fully released, then we'll look into something like that with a matchmaking server. So that's the plan. Yeah, alpha I'm probably gonna do like $5, beta's gonna be 10, final game's gonna be 15. As content is released and as expansions come out, I don't want players to feel bored as if they're just handed to them. Probably for the majority of the pre-alpha, well, all of the pre-alpha and the alpha testing, you're probably just gonna be handed cards. When a new card comes out, you're just gonna get it. I'm doing that for the sake of stability and testing. I'll be honest, guys, I am going to make some broken shit. Like, I'm going to make some really broken shit because that's the kind of person I am. I like aggressive playstyles. If you guys have ever seen me play Hearthstone, I am aggressive as shit. So, because I am catered toward that playstyle, I want other people who have a more, well, basically a normal playstyle to enjoy the game as well. I want somebody that plays like a controller, a mid-range, or a tempo player. I want them to enjoy the game and to give me feedback as to what cards I want to make. The idea is that during pre-alpha, I build a foundation. We build the cards and the systems. You guys report to me the bugs and what features you guys want to see in the future. I will build that to the best of my ability until I hit the stage where I feel it's worth $5. And once it's worth $5, then I open the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter's purpose, and I want to be as transparent as possible, is to pay my $1,500 license fee that I'm going to get pounded by Unity with. So that's where the money's going to go, and the extra money I've already discussed. But the ultimate goal for opening the Kickstarter is the publicity. I want people to be aware of this game. I want to create a community so you guys and myself can enjoy this game to the fullest. And once that's out there, once we get people going, that's when I'm going to start rolling out features and things like that. But I want you guys to suggest cards in the future. Once the forums are open, start thinking of ideas. I've got a ton of ideas planned, but knowing me, most of them are going to be really aggressive or overly controlling. So I kind of want, like, you know, something creative in between. Also, I'm a big Mega Man player, I'm a big Hearthstone player, I'm limited to just those two games in terms of experience. I'm a creative person, but let's be honest, when I'm trying to create, like, a good few, like, I want this game to launch with 300 cards minimum. When I have to think of 300 cards on my own, that's not going to happen, and if it does, it's going to be really, really boring and almost repetitive. So I want you guys to give me your full input, so start thinking of ideas. On top of that, probably around the end of alpha, I want to start adding more features into the game. I want to start looking into that squad mode that I keep talking about so much. I want to start looking into like things like practice mode, adding challenges. When the game releases, I want to have it so that everyone gets, you know, like the basic staple cards, and then you have to do challenges to unlock the other stuff. It's all going to be free and you don't need to pay a cent. But I want to have it so that players feel rewarded for doing stuff. So that might come in toward the end of alpha, maybe towards beta, but I'm not really sure yet. basically when the game leaves alpha, it'll be when I feel that the game it's stable, it is what's the word I'm looking for? It's I guess diverse in terms of like play styles, or people can just kind of jump in and play whatever whatever deck they want and not get curb stomped for it, which is that's an idealistic thing, but we're gonna try the closest we can. And yeah, I just want the game to feel really good. Basically, again, when I get to the point where I can say I feel like paying $10 for this, that's when I go to beta. So that's the idea for that. As far as the future goes and what I want to do in terms of programming, school starts next week. I have school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, basically all day, with giving me my Thursdays and Fridays off, and I still have to work though. The plan is I study my ass off on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I spend most of my Thursday, Friday just coding. Nothing but pure coding. I'm gonna work my ass off. I want to get this done as soon as possible. I want to bring this game to pre-alpha very soon as well. So that's the plan with that. I want to say I've discussed everything, unless I'm like forgetting something that's really big and I'm just a complete moron. But yeah, that's the game, guys. Hopefully the next update will have a completed UI. After the UI just comes general cards. I'll put the three attacks that I have in this game, and then yeah, I'll like do like the advance and the focus mechanics, put those into cards, create more cards. Oh, one last thing that I feel like I should probably note: Android ports, iOS ports, things like that, things of this matter, things of the sort. I was just messing around one day, and it turns out I can, in fact, do an Android port very easily. I have to integrate the controls because my game isn't touch supported, which I learned from my Microsoft Surface. But Android ports, expect that to happen. Don't expect it in pre-alpha, expect it in alpha. Same goes to other systems. I think I can get it out to Linux during pre-alpha. But yeah, so like Linux and Windows are going to be what you're going to expect for pre-alpha. During alpha, expect an Android release. I'm going to make it a stretch goal in the Kickstarter for a Mac/iOS release because I don't own a Mac computer. Basically, for the stretch goal is basically if I get enough for a Mac laptop, then I'll export it to that. Let's see, what else? I want to say that is everything. Next update, UI should be finished. Well, next video update, UI will be finished. Then the card system, then populating cards, and yeah, we're in there. And I can say I'm that much closer to being a game developer. So, I'm actually surprised I didn't go through all my songs. Like, I played all of them thinking, you know, I'm gonna go through all. Did I go through this one? This is such a good song. We're playing this song. But, yeah guys, I'm looking at my Tumblr right now to see if I have anything I want to discuss. And it doesn't really look like it. But yeah guys, be sure to stay posted with me here. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to ask me on my Tumblr, on my email, Twitter, whatever. All that stuff you can find somewhere on my Tumblr. If you guys don't know my Tumblr, it'll be in the YouTube link down below. And all that being said, guys, I will see you very, very soon. I am more diligent than I ever have been. I'm sorry for getting sucked into Hearthstone and for having my personal life affect me. Well, I can't be sorry for that one. But thank you guys so very much. Thank you for listening to my rants. Please, and I can't stress this enough, please guys, leave me whatever comments you feel should be expressed in here. So any kind of criticisms, any kind of suggestions or anything. I read literally every single comment I get. Even if I don't answer it, I try my best to take it into consideration. This project has meant more than probably anything else in my life. So please guys, like, give me all you got. Anyways, I've said this a million times. I'll see you soon.